đọc cho nó có tụ có bài để mình chuyển bài thôi. Cho nó hoàn thành đó cô. Nhưng cũng sắp hết rồi cô ơi.
Dạ.
Còn khoảng 3 buổi nữa thì hết rồi. 3-4 buổi nữa là hết rồi. Dạ. Con phải ráng kéo.
Có mình cô thôi đó, cô kéo đi.
Kệ nó. Nói chung 3 buổi nữa thì hết rồi. 3-4 buổi nữa là để cho nó xong chuyện á cô, cho nó xong câu chuyện á. Chứ đó.
Cô có vô mà Zoom hồi sáng, cô có ở lại không? Khúc em vô á, cái vô tình em thấy là nhóm của cô Ori á đang tập, cái em cũng để nó nghe luôn, cái cười quá.
Sáng nay á hả?
Không, hồi tối mà
Tối
xong
hả?
cái cuối cái thi đó, nhóm
Tại
cô
tối
về
hôm qua.
lại.
Dạ, tối hôm qua là anh sang lớp bên kia, anh sang lớp 3B.
Vậy hả?
Dạ, hôm qua anh
Vậy hả?
có chia
Mắc
sẻ
cười
bên lớp
quá.
3B.
Em vô rồi em nói ủa sao có cô Ori vậy ta? Cái em hỏi cái nghe gì bí mật đó. Nghe bí mật.
Bí mật.
Đang chiến lược cô biết không, đang chiến lược, tức cười quá. Mình
Cô
nghe được.
Ori cô cũng vui chứ. Tiếng cô
Cậu cũng
Ori.
chiến lược lắm á cô, chiến lược lắm á. Cười quá, em nghe được, em nghe được chiến lược của mấy cậu, cười
Thế là
chết
phải đi
rồi.
ra đúng không? Thấy chiến lược cái là đi ra ngay. Dạ rồi, mình cứ đọc đến đúng 9:30 là mình ra. Hôm nay cô có vào lớp ngữ pháp không đấy?
Em có ngữ pháp vậy cô, tới 11-12 giờ sao em chịu nổi, em ngủ
Dạ.
rồi.
Ok. Day
Yeah.
134,
34, June
chapter
22nd,
14.
chapter
The sixth
14, the
sense, the
sixth
door
sense,
to
the
the
door to the
temples of
temple of
wisdom.
wisdom.
The
The
13th
13th
step
step
towards
toward
great
riches.
peace.
The 13th principle is known as the sixth sense, through which infinite intelligence man will
The
communicate
16th principle
voluntarily
is known
without
as
any
the sixth sense,
effort
that which
from or
infinite
demands by the
intelligence
individual.
may and it will
This
communicate
principle is the
voluntarily
apex
without
of the
any efforts
philosophy. It
from
can
the
be
demon
assimilated,
by the
understood, and
individual.
applied
This
only
scripture
by
is a
first
part of
mastering the
the
other 12
philosophy. It can
principles.
be
The
assimilated
sixth
and
sense is that portion
understood
of the
and
subconscious
applied
mind which
only
has
by
been
the first
referred to as the
mastering the
creative
other 12
imagination.
principles.
It also
The
been
sixth
referred to
sense
as the
is that
receiving set,
portions of the
through which
subconscious
ideas,
mind has
plans,
been
and thoughts flash into
reversed
the
and
mind.
is the
The
creation from
flashes are
imagination. It
sometimes
has
called
also been
hunches or
reversed
inspirations.
as the received
The
set
sixth
to
sense
by their
defies
plant and soul
description. It
plant
cannot be
into the mind.
described to a
The
person who
practice
has
has
not
some
mastered the
correspondences of
other principles of this
inspiration. The sixth
philosophy,
sense defies
because such a
description.
person has
It
no
cannot be
knowledge and no
described to
experience
a
with
person who
which
has
the
not
sixth sense may
mastered
be
the other
compared.
principles
A
and of this
understanding of the
philosophy.
sixth sense comes
Because
only
such
by
a person
meditation
has
through
no knowledge and no
mind
experience.
development
If the
from
sixth
within.
sense
The
may
sixth
be
sense
compared,
probably is the medium
understanding
of
that sixth
contact
sense come only by
between
the
the infinite mind
meditation
of
to a
man and
mind
infinite
development from
intelligence. And
within.
for this
The
reason, it
sixth
is a
sense
mixture of both
broadly
the
is
mental
the
and the
medium
spiritual.
of
It is
contact
believed to
between the
be the
finite
point
mind of
at
man
which
and
the
infinite
mind of man
intelligence,
contracts the
and for
universal
this
mind.
reason, it is a matrix or both a matrix of the spiritual. It is believed to be the point at which the mind of the
After you
man
have mastered
contracts
the
of the
principles
universe
described in this
mind.
book, you will be prepared to accept
After
as
you have
truth a
mastered
statement
the
which
principle
may otherwise
described
be
in this
incredible
book,
to
you
you,
will be
namely, through
prepared
the
to
aid
accept the
of the
truth
sixth
or
sense, you will be
statement
one
that
of
may
depending
otherwise
interest
be
in time to avoid them,
incredible
and
to you,
notify of
named through
opportunities
the act of
in
the sixth
time to
sense. You
embrace
will
them.
be formed
There
of
comes
intelligent gangrels
to
in
your
time to
aid and to
avoid
do
them,
your
and not
bidding
to
with
grasp
the
the
development of
opportunity
the sixth
in
sense
time to
accordant
embrace
angel,
them.
who will
They
open to
come
you
to the
at all
act and
times the door
pursue
to the
the
temple of
binding
wisdom.
with the development of the sixth sense, a guardian angel who will open to you at all times the
Whether
key
or
to
not
the
this is a
temples of
statement of
wisdom.
truth, you will
Whether
never
or
know
not it
except
is
by
the
following the
statement, the truth,
instructions
you will not
described in the
know
pages of this book
except
or
by
some similar method
following
of
the
procedure.
instructions described the page of this book. Some similar method of procedure.
The author is not a believer
The
in nor
author
any
is not a
advocate
believer
of
in
miracles for the
nor
reason
an
that he has enough
advocate of
knowledge of
miracle for
nature
the
to
reason
understand that
that
nature
he
never
is enough knowledge of nature to
deviates
understand
from the
that nature never
established laws. Some of
devises
our
from
laws are
her
so
established law.
incomprehensive that they
Some of her
produce
laws are
what
so
appear to be miracles.
incomprehensible,
The
and
sixth
they
sense comes as near to
produce
be
what
a miracle as
appear
anything
in the
I have ever
miracle. The sixth
experienced.
sense comes
And it
as near
also
being the
and it
miracle as
appears so only
anything
because I do
I
not
have
understand the
ever
method by which this
experienced, and
principle is
it
operated.
appears
This much
so only
the
because
author
I
does
do
know,
not
that there
understand
is
the
a power
methods by
or a
which
first
this
cause or
principle
an
is operated.
intelligence which
This marks
permeates
the author
every atom
does
of
know
matter and
that there
embraces
is a
every unit
power
of
or
energy
the principle
perceptible
and
to
an
man. That is
intelligence
infinite.
which
Intelligence converts
permits every
acorns
atom of
into
matter
oak
and
trees,
embraces
causes
every
water
unit
to
of
flow
energy
downhill in response
perceptible
to
to
the
man.
law
And
of
this infinite
gravity.
intelligence
Follows night
enters
with
a
day
course
and winter
into
with
what
summer, each
trees
maintaining its proper place and
as the
relationship to
water
the other.
flow down
This
his in
intelligence may through the
response to the
principles
law
of this
of gravity,
philosophy be
follows
induced to
night with
make
day and winter
transmuting
with summer, each
desires
maintaining
into
its
concrete
proper
or
place and
material form.
relationship to the other.
The
The
author
intelligent
has
may,
this knowledge
through
because
this
he has
principle of this
experimented with it
philosophy,
and
be
has
induced
experienced
to
it.
act to
Step by
submitting
step
desire
through the
into
preceding
concrete and
chapters, you
material
have been
form.
led to
The
this,
author
the
has this
last
knowledge,
principle.
because he
If
has
you have mastered
experimented
each of the
with it
preceding
and
principles, you are
experimented
now
it.
prepared to
Step by
accept
step
without
through
being
the
skeptical.
preceding
The
chapter, you
stupendous
have been led
claims
to
made
this,
here,
and
you
this
have not
principle,
mastered
if
the
you
other
have
principles.
mastered
You
it
must do
of
so
the
before
preceding
you
principle,
may
you are now
determine
prepared to
definitely whether
accept
or not the claims
without
made in
being
this chapter
skeptical
are
and when those
fact or
claims
fiction.
made here, if you have a master to other principles, and you must do so before you may determine definitely whether it's not the claim made in the chapter a fact or
While I was passing
why
through
I
the
was
age of
passing through
hero
the age of
worship, I
hero
found myself
worship,
trying to
I found mystery,
imitate those whom I
trying
most
to
admire.
imitate
Moreover, I
those
discovered
who the
that the
most
elements of
admired.
faith
Moreover,
with
I
which I
discovered
endeavored
that
to
the
imitate my
element of
idols
faith
gave me great
with which
capacity to do so quite
endeavor to
successfully.
imitate my
I have
idol
never
with the
entirely
great capacity to do so quite
divested myself this habit
successfully.
of hero
I have
worship,
never
although I have passed
entirely
the
divested
age commonly
myself
given
to this
over
habit
to
of
such.
hero worship,
My
although I
experience
have
has taught me
passed
that the
the
next best
age
thing to
commonly
truly great
given
is to
over to
emulate
shut.
the great.
My
By
experience
feeling
has
and
taught me that the
action
next
as
best thing
nearly as
to be
possible.
in truly
Long
great,
before
it
I
is
ever
to
written a line of
emulate the great by feeling and
publication or
action.
endeavor
And
to
yet so
deliver a
possible,
speech
long
in
before
public.
I had
I
ever
followed the
written a
habit of
line for
reshaping my own character by
application
trying to
and
imitate
endeavor
a
to
nine
deliver a speech
men
in
who
public.
lives and life works have been most
I
impressive to
followed
me.
the habits
These 9 men were Emerson, Paine, Edison, Darwin, Lincoln, Burbank.
in my own character by trying to imitate the nine men to live and me. The nine men were
Napoleon,
Emerson,
Ford,
Penn,
and
Edison,
Carnegie.
Darwin, Lincoln, Burke's,
Every night over
Napoleon,
a long period of
Ford,
years,
and
I enjoyed an
Kennedy.
imaginary
Every
council
night, over
meeting with
long
this group
periods of
whom I call my
year, I have
invisible
an
counselors. The
imaginary
procedure
council
was
meeting
just
with
before
this
going to
group,
sleep at night, I
whom
would
I
shut
call
my
the
eyes and to my
invisible
imagination, this group
house
of men seated with me and
counselors.
around my
The
council
procedure
table.
was
Here I
that
had
just
not only
before
a
going to sleep at
privilege to
night,
sit
I would
among
shut
those whom
my
I
eye and
considered
see,
to be
and
great,
in my
but I
imagination
actually
just strip
dominated
of
the group
messages
by
with
serving
me
as the
around the
chairman.
council
I
table.
had a very
Here I
definite
had
purpose
not
in
only an
indulging my imagination through
opportunity to
these
sit among them with their
nightly
considered to be
meetings,
to be
My
great, but I
purpose was to
actually
rebuild my own
dominated the
character, so
group,
it
and
would
serving as the
represent a
chairman, I had a very
composite of the
definite
characters of
purpose in
my imaginary
inducting my
counselors.
imagination
Realizing, as I
through
did
this
early in life,
nightly
that I had
meeting.
to
My
overcome the
purpose were a
handicap of
rebuild
birth
my
in
own
an environment of
characters, so
ignorance
it
and
would
superstition.
represent a
I
composite of
deliberately
the
assigned
characters
myself
of
the
my
task of
imaginary
voluntary rebirth
counselor,
through the method
realizing
described.
as I did early in life, so I had no overcome the handicraft or birth in the environment of
Day
ignorance and
135 to
superstition.
23.
I deliberately assigned the task of voluntary rebirth through the method here described.
Mạng bị sao hả cô?
Công nhận cái đoạn cuối này nó đã
Cái mạng nó bị
cái đoạn
sao
cuối này
thì
nó hay thiệt á.
Yeah. Building character
Dạ,
through
chắc là
other
cái mạng của anh nó hơi bị
suggestions.
yếu á. Building
Being
characters
an
through the
earnest
subjects,
student of
being the
psychology, I
early
knew, of
student
course, that
of
all men can become
philosophy,
what they are because of their dominating thoughts and desires. I knew that every
I know that of
deep-seated
course that
desire
all
has the
men
effect
has
of
become
causing
what
one
they
to
are
seek out
because of the dominating
expression through which
thoughts and
that
desire. I
desire
know that
may
every
transmute
deeply
to
seated
reality. I knew
desire
that
has the
self-suggestion
effect
is a
of
powerful
causing
factor in
on the
building
sick
character,
outwards
and that is,
experience
in
through
fact, the
which the
sole
desire
principle through
may
which
be
character is
transmuted
built.
into
With this
reality.
knowledge of the
I
principles
know
of
that
my operation,
self-suggestion
I
is the
was fairly
powerful
well
factor
armed with
in
the
building
equipment needed in
character,
reviewing
that
character.
it is, in
In
fact,
these
the sole
imaginary council
principle
meetings, I
through
call on my
which
cabinet
character
members
is
for the knowledge
built.
of
With
which
the knowledge
each to contribute,
of the
addressing myself
principle
to
of
each
my operation,
member
I
in
was fairly well
audible words as
armed
follows.
with the
Mr.
equipment
Ellison,
needed
I
and
desire to apply
reveal
to
my
you the
character.
marvelous
In
understanding
this
of nature which
imaginary conceit
distinguishes
meeting,
your
I
life. I
called
ask that
on
you
my
make an
cabinet
impression upon my
member
subconscious mind
for
of
the knowledge I
whatever
wish
quality
each
you
the
possess, which
contribute
enable you to
address
understand and adapt
myself
yourself to
and
the
each
laws of
members of
nature.
audience
I
were
ask that
as
you
follows.
assist me in
Is the
reaching and drawing
emotion
upon
I
whatever source
desire
of
to
knowledge you are
appeal
able to
from
this end.
you to make
Miss Burbank,
marvelous
I request that
understanding
you
of
pass on to
nature
me that knowledge which
distinguish your life. I ask that
enable
I
you
make an impress
to
upon
so
the
harmonize the
subconscious
laws
mind
of
of
nature that you
whatever
cause the
quality you
cactus to shed its thorns
possess
to
which
become an
enable
animal
to
food.
the
Give
understand
me
that
access
adapt
to the
yourself as the
knowledge which
law of
enable
nature.
you
I
to
ask
make
that
2
you
blades of
assist
grass
me
grow
in
where but
reaching and
one
drawing
grew
upon whatever
before, and
source of
help
knowledge
you to
are
blend the
available
color
to
of the
this
flowers
end with
which
the work. I
with more
request
splendor
that
and
you pass
harmony.
on me the
For you
knowledge which
alone has
enables
successfully
you
built
to
the lily.
harmonize the law of nature that for the
Napoleon, I
greatest
desire
and
to
fact in
acquire
the
from you
form
by
and
emulation
become an
the
actual food.
marvelous
Give me a
ability you
set to the
possess
knowledge
to
which
inspire men and
able
to arouse them
you
to
to make
greater and more
you
determined
glad to
spirit of
acquire
action.
nowhere but
Also,
appear
to
before.
acquire the
I
spirit of
help
enduring
you to
faith,
blend
which
and
enable you
coloring
to
of the
repeat and
flower
to
with more
victory and to
splendor and
surmount
harmony, for
staggering
you alone
obstacles.
and have
Emperor of fate,
successfully
king of chance,
witnessed by
man of
really.
destiny, I salute
Napoleon, I
you.
desire to
Mr.
acquire
Payne, I
from
desire
you
to apply for you the freedom
emulation
of thought and
and
the
marvelous
courage and
ability
clarity
to
with
possess
which
the
to
influential man and
express
to
predictions
arouse them
so
to greater and
distinguish
more
you.
determined spirit of
Mr.
action,
Darwin,
also
I wish
to
to impart to
apply
you
a
the
spirit
marvelous
of
patience
enduring
and
courage
ability to
which
study cause and
enable you
effect
to turn
without
defeat
bias
into
or
victory
prejudice, so
and the thoughtful
exemplified
structuring
by you in the field
obstacle.
of natural
Interest
science.
or fate of the King Charles and the destiny I saw you.
Mr. Lincoln,
Mr.
I
Penn,
desire to
I
build
desire
into
to
my own
acquire from
character
you the wisdom, the
the
thought,
keen,
or the
the
collective
keen sense of
authority with
justice,
which
the
to
untiring
expression
spirit of patience,
conviction
the
which
sense of
so
human, the
distinguish
inner
you.
understanding, and
Mr.
the
Darwin,
tolerance,
I wish to
which
acquire
were
from
your
you the marvelous
distinguishing characters.
patience and
Mr.
ability to
Carnegie,
stand
I am
forth and
ready to
efface
get to
without
you for my
bias
choice of a life
or
work, which has brought
prejudice and exemplify to be in the field of nature
yes,
science.
yes.
Miss Lincoln, I desire
I
to build
desire to
into the born
build my
character
own
to keen
character,
on
the
sense
keen
of
sense of
justice,
justice,
the
the untiring spirit of
untying
patience, the
spirit
sense of
passion, and the
humor,
sense
the
of
human
humor,
understanding, and
the
the
human's
tolerance, which were
understanding,
your
and the
distinguishing
tolerant. Your word
characteristics.
is distinguished
Mr. Carnegie, I'm
characteristic.
ready. I'm
Mr.
already
Carnegie, I'm
indebted to
already
you for my choice of a life
indulged
work,
to
which
you
has
from the
brought me
choice of
happily
life's
happiness
work
and peace
which
in
has
mind.
brought
I wish to
to
acquire
rest
a
happiness
thorough
and peace
understanding of
in
the
mind. I
principles
wish
of
to
organized effort,
acquire
which you
the
use so
thorough
effectively in the
understanding of
beauty
the
of a great
principle
industrial
of
enterprise.
organized
Mr.
efforts which
Ford,
you
you have been
use
among
so
the most helpful of the men who
effectively
have
in the
supplied much of
building
the
of the
material
great
essential to my work.
industrial
I wish to
enterprise.
acquire the
Mr.
spirit
Ford,
of
I have
persistent
been among the
determination,
most
poise, and
helpful of the
self-confidence,
men who are
which have
supplied much
enabled
of
you to master
material
properly organized
essentially
enterprise. And
in my
similarly,
work. I wish to acquire
so may
your
I help others
skills
to
of
follow in your
persistence
footsteps.
and
Mr.
determination
Edison, I
to
have seen you years to
persist
me as
and
and my gratitude at the
self-confident we
personal
can
cooperation
enable
you have
you
given
to
me.
master
There must
property,
be search into
organize
the causes
enterprise,
of
and
success and failure.
simplify
I wish
human
to acquire
efforts
from you
so
the
I am
moral spirit of faith,
may help
with
others
which
to
you
follow
have
the
uncovered so
footsteps.
many of
Mr.
nature's secrets, the
Action,
spirit
I
of
never
melting point, with
accepted the nearest
which
to
you have
me
so
as
often
my
wrested victory
right
from
because
defeat.
of the
Day
personal
136,
cooperation
June
you have
24. My method of addressing the
have
members of the
given
imaginary
me during
cabinet
the research
would
into the
vary
day,
according
the
to
course
the
of
traits of
success,
character which
and
I was for the
here
moment
I wish
most
to
interested
acquire from the
most
marvelous
interested
spirit of
in
faith,
acquiring. I
with
studied
which you
characters
have
that I
uncovered of
described
many
with
nature's
care.
secret of spirit
After
of
some,
unmeriting choice, with you have often wrested the victory from the defeat. Dạ rồi, mình đọc tới 135 là được rồi. 3 phần là được rồi.
cái ông này á, ổng đang học 9 dạng người trong một này cô.
Dạ, ông đang có cái gì đó gọi là cái nhóm hình
người
trí
thầy
tuệ
nè.
ưu tú. Dạ, đó,
Dạ,
là ông có
người thầy
9
nè
người
của
đó.
ổng cả.
Trí tuệ ưu tú đó, 9 người đó,
Dạ.
trí tuệ ưu tú đó.
Dạ. Ổng học từ một ông một điều.
Dạ, đó, học mỗi người một điều, mình gọi là trí tuệ ưu tú đấy, nhưng mà là 9 dạng người trong một đó. Ổng nói là ổng có dạ, mình đọc được 2 3 2 phần. 134 135. Mai mới đọc tiếp. Dạ rồi. Dạ. Cuốn này hay lắm cô. Hồi xưa anh cũng đọc đi đọc lại nhiều lần đó, nhưng mà lúc đó mình chưa biết được là 9 dạng người trong một á cô. Thế xong rồi hồi đó anh cũng thử thực tập cái kiểu như vậy đó.
Vậy hả cô? Dạ, thực tập 9 người hả? Kiếm 9 người đó hả?
Không, tức là anh tưởng tượng ra là mình sẽ có 9 người đồng hành á, ví dụ như cô
Đó,
Tiffany,
ý em nói là vậy đó. Dạ.
Anh có thử 1-2 lần. Dạ.
Dạ. Ngon không cô?
Tại vì thực ra mình cũng cứ vui, mình cứ khao khát vậy thôi mà. Nhưng mà
đâu biết được trong tương lai cô, giống ông thầy ông nói chứ mấy anh chị hả, cứ đứng trong hàng đi 3 năm sau anh chị nhìn mình không biết